I'm Michael Currie, and this is my collection of Star Trek starships. I was born in '71. The original series was '68, but it was in syndication, so my dad would watch it. And I would say probably late '70s, so it was about 8 or 9 years old when I first started watching it. I was hooked. It was such a good show. I collected these over about a 5 or 6 year period, so 2 a month, not counting the big ones where I'd get one probably a year, so 2, 24, 100, gotta be about 150. This is about half my collection. That's the original series right there that I used to watch with my dad, but then years later, when the Next Generation, I wanna say this was probably late '80s, I would watch the Next Generation with my mom. When you start off, they always send you with probably the most well-known of all of the ships. This is the Enterprise NCC 1701D, and that's so the captain of that was Captain Jean-Luc Picard, and that's basically the first model that they start off. I think the intricacy, there are some really obscure ones that like maybe were in one episode or might have been featured in a movie like as a background, but what really draws me to these is the level of design and how they and what the purpose is that they meant for it in the series. So it's easy for me to make the choice to bring all of the Enterprises because that's the core of the series is the USS Enterprise. So I have the original all the way through A, B, C, D, and E, and even the original refit of 1701, which was featured in the original movie and Star Trek II Wrath of Khan. You can see some of them, like that one over there in the Borg cube with the glowing green. All of the Klingon bird of prey, just really intricate and really probably the most interesting ones that I have. So I love Voyager. That's right down here in the front. That's probably my favorite of the series. This is the USS Grissom that sadly in the movie gets destroyed. But I like that one because it kind of bridges the gap between old and new. There's 2 Klingon birds of prey, and I just think that they really did well with the design team. That's a Klingon bird of prey. I really enjoy that one. It really does look like a bird of prey. The design element of this one here was only in one episode on Deep Space Nine, but it was featured because Captain Sisko, he was a captain that served on Deep Space Nine, but they took a vacation together, and this was a Bajoran solar sail, and it was like renting a sailboat, and they had an adventure. But just the detail that they had for that was really incredible. There are subscription services out there. This one, the company's called Eagle Moss, and when I first saw that they were going to start building these ships, and obscure ones and well-known ones, you sign up for it, you get the original Enterprise, and then every month you get 2. And then every year, if you stay with the subscription, you would get like a larger model, like Prototype Enterprise or the Borg Cube, or the USS Vengeance that was in one of the newer movies. What I enjoy about collecting the starships, you never knew, like you tried to not know what you were going to get next. So it was like kind of like Christmas when you open up the box and you'd say, "Oh my gosh, I got the runabout this time." What I enjoy about the series is that they take a serious approach to problems that we see today, and I really enjoy the way that it was like space diplomacy, and the way that they logically applied science, and it was just a really good storylines, really good kind of a very positive view of our future. So there's a background idea is that like the starships are like the Navy in space, and so I really enjoy seeing how they progress and they adapt to different models. So like this one, on the last episode of The Next Generation, it was an episode called Best of Both Worlds. They had a specialized version of a spaceship because this was a hospital ship, and one of the characters, Dr. Beverly Crusher, in the future became a captain, and she was a captain of a medical vessel. So I really like that approach. Like we have naval medical vessels, And so that kind of like adapting that was really interesting to me, and I'd like to see more of that. My daughters would get interested. When the box would come in, it was a very unique box, and they were curious to see which one was going to be next. I have a lot of these. These are probably my most favorite of the collection. So I have a curio cabinet that I display a lot of them, and they could probably even tell you what some of these are. Like if you point at one, I'll say that's the hospital ship. I'll say this is USS Reliant. If I point to one, they'll at least know. Oh, that's a Klingon ship. So it's fun to share like that. I love Cabin Fever. I love the Historical Society putting this on. It's an opportunity to kind of take stuff that you like, or that you people might not know about you, or know that you have an interest in, and come and actually be able to display it for everyone to see it.